line's been moving a little bit. Oregon State at Oregon, the Civil War. Oregon favored by 13.5 as we're recording this. I was somewhat surprised this line was this big because I thought Oregon State played well against Washington, should have beaten Washington. They did, for whatever reason, when they got the ball back with about 5.5 minutes to go, down 2, they decided to run Washington's offense instead of their own offense. And that felt like a mistake. But now they're playing an Oregon team that I do know from talking to Dan Lanning and the folks around Oregon, they spent this entire offseason reminding the players of how they collapsed against Oregon State last year. So Oregon is definitely going to take this seriously.
Well, it's like Jonah Hill said in Superbad, with Oh Boy talking about penis pants in the 2nd grade. People don't forget. Like Oregon did not forget that they've had, and look, it's a rivalry game anyway, but you got punked, you got beat up in front of your family last year. Remember, they got the lead and just got it ran down their throat. Mm-hmm. So you can't get beat up in front of your wife. I mean, come on, man. You got to regain your honor. They get him at home.
We'll be back with more picks, but first, let me tell you about Game Time. Download that Game Time app. Use the code Staples. Get $20 off your first purchase. Do you want to see the Michigan-Ohio State game in the Big House this weekend? You can get tickets on Game Time right now. That game's been sold out forever. You can get tickets on Game Time right now. You click the seat you want to look at. You will get an image of your vantage point in the stadium, exactly what it will look like where you are sitting in the stadium. So you can pick that out. A couple more taps. The ticket is yours. Maybe you want to go see the Civil War in Eugene, Oregon. Game Time's got that one too. Not as pricey as the game, but still going to be thrilling. Oregon State versus Oregon. Oregon trying to clinch that spot in the Pac-12 title game. Or maybe you just want to go to the Iron Bowl. Alabama and Auburn, Jordan-Hare Stadium. We know weird things happen in Jordan-Hare, even when the home team is an underdog. Well, guess what? Game Time has tickets to that too, because Game Time has tickets to everything. Sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, theater, you name it. Game Time has it. It's so easy to sign up, so easy to get your tickets. You can transfer them on game day using a text message. They take all the stress out of last-minute ticket buying. I mean, think about it. It's pretty last minute if you want to go to Ohio State and Michigan. But you can go with Game Time. So download that app. Use the code Staples. $20 off your first purchase.
But I'll tell you this about this Oregon team. The more I wipe my eyes and look at them, the more they're starting to look like an SEC team up front. And just the way they go about things. I know they're trying to win Bo Nix the Heisman, and he had 8 touchdowns, whatever it was, crazy last game. But the Washington game, I thought, for Oregon State could not have lined up better for the Beavers. You had bad weather. You're a downhill run team that prides themselves on defense, even though the defense hadn't been as great as what I thought it was going to be this year in some big games. You had Washington come in that's a pass-happy team. They were playing right into your hands, and Washington out-grimied you. Like DJU at the end of the day is who DJU is, just like Joe Milton is who Joe Milton is. DJU is an average thrower of the ball. He misses a lot of routine throws. He'll make some great plays, right? He'll shake some tackles. He'll make a couple good throws, but he's not consistent. And that's what cost Oregon. Even in bad weather, Penix only had 168 yards, but he was more consistent and efficient in big moments, playing a different style than they really wanted to play in that weather. When I love Oregon in this game. There's a reason it started, I think, at 11 and got bet up. I feel like Oregon can stop the run, and defensively, DJU is not going to have success, just like Joe Milton didn't have success against Georgia, being able to throw the ball consistently against this team. So what's your answer? You want to establish the run, use play action, use your boots, use your waggles, use your max protects to get the matchups you want on the outside and give DJU time. But if you can't run the ball, that you can't do that. You can't operate like that, and they're not going to pitch backwards. On the other hand, Oregon State's defense has struggled in big moments some this year, and even in moments against offenses that weren't great. And Oregon is as dangerous as any team in the country when it comes to playing complementary football, and they're trying to win Bo Nix the Heisman. If you want to look in maybe the difference in hitting that 13.5 and it ending just under, they're trying to win this man the Heisman. There's literally billboards in Times Square and all over the country. I think Oregon rolls in this one. I think it's going to be about 50 degrees. There's no rain in the forecast. I like the Ducks big here as they get ready to play Washington again. You know what, Andy? They're going to beat them.
Well, it never rains at Autzen Stadium, so that there's no fear of that. And I agree. I'll take Oregon to cover here on this one. I think the Oregon-Washington rematch is going to be a little trickier than you and Vegas do. I keep seeing it because I keep seeing that number go up too. Like I think it's 7.5 right now. The currently hypothetical, but will be a real thing after this game. Oregon-Washington rematch. But yeah, I'll take Oregon to cover in this one. I for the same reason, it's a styles make fights thing. The way Oregon is built right now, they should be able to slow down Oregon State's run game, and Oregon should be able to score kind of however they want to against Oregon State.
I think you're going to get a pick six early in this game. I think DJU is going to float one over the middle that goes right into a safety's hands like he's known to do, and you get a pick six. But I tell you what, man, I'm just interested to see if in that Oregon, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but in that Oregon-Washington matchup, is Dan Lanning going to make the most drastic decision in every situation possible? It just reminds me on every fourth down, he's like The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson in the other guys when they're just like, aim for the bushes. Let's just jump off the roof and hit the bushes. That'll be fine. Just 4th and 3 from your own 30. It'll be fine. Just aim for the bushes.
We've had the other guys. We've had super bad Peter. When you made the super bad Pee Your Pants reference, by the way, I was hoping you'd call back to Billy Madison again, so we'd have double Pee Your Pants references in the same podcast.
And I'm Miles Davis.
You ain't cool unless you peed your pants. So, all right.
I need to watch that movie. I haven't watched that one in a while. Chris Farley in that movie kills me, man. It's like, who eats 30 sack lunches?
Steve Buscemi is spectacular.
He's
I will say that. So as a parent of, like, I've got a 14 and a 12-year-old. So my wife and I have tried to school them on the classics, and we've showed them a lot of the comedy. We haven't ventured into the dirty R-rated comedies yet. We'll get to Superbad later, but Billy Madison, by far their favorite. By far.
Classic.
They didn't like Happy Gilmore, but they loved Billy Madison. Yeah.
So they loved Billy Madison, did not like Happy Gilmore.
Didn't care for it.
Really?
Yeah. It was weird.
Didn't
like Dumb and Dumber.
Mm.
That was weird.
That's tough. Dude, that's tough. I believe in you, though, Andy. I believe in your parenting skills enough. Like, I feel like they're going to come around on that.
I feel like they will, but the Billy Madison thing just did my heart good because we can turn on Billy Madison at any time.
Oh, it's a great movie.
It's good to go.
It's like chicken. It's great all time of the year.
Absolutely. Not a nervous bird, Jim Harbaugh. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples On 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.